Have you ever wondered what really happens on an Amish bride's wedding night? Most people imagine secret rituals, shocking rules, and unbelievable traditions hidden from the outside world. But the real story is much deeper, more emotional, and far more surprising than internet rumors. There are no luxury hotels, no fancy decorations, and no modern expectations. Instead, it's a quiet moment filled with tradition, faith, and life-changing responsibility. Tonight, we reveal the truth behind what an Amish bride actually does when the ceremony ends and the door finally closes. In today's video, we're uncovering the real traditions behind Amish wedding nights, not the fake stories or viral myths you see everywhere. This is a respectful, honest look into a culture that lives by faith, simplicity, and strict community rules. You'll discover what truly happens after the wedding ends, how the bride prepares for this moment, and why this night is more meaningful than most people ever realize. Amish Wedding Day. An Amish wedding day does not look like anything you see in modern weddings. There are no loud music systems, no bright stage lights, no luxury cars, and no expensive decorations. Everything about this day is simple, quiet, and deeply meaningful. The focus is not show, but commitment. The goal is not beauty, but purity of heart. The bride wakes up before sunrise. There is no professional makeup artist waiting for her. There is no hairstyling team. She prepares herself quietly in her family home, surrounded by close female relatives. Her dress is modest, usually handmade, and designed to reflect humility, not fashion. The colors are soft, traditional, and chosen not for style, but for spiritual meaning, while the world outside chases perfection through mirrors. Amish brides are taught that true beauty is shown through character, obedience, and respect. The bride does not look at herself as the center of attention. Instead, she sees herself as stepping into a responsibility that will last her entire life. The ceremony itself is not held in a church building. It usually takes place inside a family home or barn. Guests can number in the hundreds, but there is no chaos. People arrive quietly, greet one another with respect, and take their seats. Men and women sit separately. Everyone dresses in simple clothing. No one stands out because the community believes that pride has no place in sacred moments. The wedding service can last several hours. It includes long prayers, deep sermons, and serious promises. There is no rush, no dancing, no loud celebration. This is because, for the Amish, marriage is not entertainment. It is a lifelong spiritual contract. After the vows, the couple does not leave for a honeymoon. Instead, they join the community for a large, simple meal. Food is homemade, served by family members, and eaten together in peace. People talk quietly. Elders give advice. Children sit with their parents. There is laughter, but it is controlled and respectful. Nothing is wasted. Nothing is overdone. The bride, during this entire day, feels a mix of emotions. There is happiness, but also nervousness. There is excitement, but also fear. She is not stepping into a fantasy. She is stepping into duty, obedience, and a new identity as a wife. As the day slowly comes to an end, there are no fireworks. There are no dramatic exits. There are no luxury cars decorated with ribbons. Instead, the bride quietly prepares herself for the next chapter of her life. Her heart is heavy with responsibility, but also full of hope. This wedding day is not built to impress the world. It is built to prepare people for a life of discipline, loyalty, and silent strength. What happens on the wedding night? When the Amish wedding day finally comes to an end, the world becomes very quiet for the bride and groom. There are no hotel rooms. There are no luxury suites. There are no fancy honeymoon plans. Instead, the couple usually returns to a simple home, often the home of a close family member or their future home. If it is ready, the night is not about fantasy or dramatic expectations. It is about transition. For the bride, this is the first night she is no longer a daughter in her parents' home, but a wife starting a new life. The emotions are deep and very real. She feels nervous, overwhelmed, and thoughtful. Everything she has known is changing in a single night. Before sleeping, many Amish couples take time to pray together. This is not done for show. It is private and serious. They ask for strength, patience, and guidance. Their faith is at the center of everything, even in the most personal moments of their lives. For them, marriage is not only emotional, it is spiritual. The bride changes into very simple night clothing. There is no focus on romance like in movies. There is no soft music, candles, or decorations. The Amish do not believe in creating dramatic scenes around private life. The goal is peace, not performance. The room is quiet. The house is quiet. There are no phones, no screens, and no outside distractions. One of the most surprising parts of Amish tradition is that they do not believe the first night should feel like entertainment. It is not treated like a fairy tale ending. It is treated like a beginning of responsibility. The couple talks quietly, shares their fears, and listens to each other. This is one of the first times they experience complete privacy together after a heavily structured community life. There is also a strong sense of modesty. The Amish believe that marriage is sacred, and sacred things are protected through privacy and silence. Nothing about their private life is discussed outside the couple. There are no friends asking questions. There are no stories shared with others. It is kept completely personal. For the bride, this night is more about mental and emotional change than physical expectations. She is learning what it means to share her space, her time, and her future with another person. She feels the weight of her new role in the household and in the community. By the time morning arrives, nothing dramatic has happened in the way movies would show, but something very real has happened. A new life has quietly begun. A new responsibility has been accepted. A new identity has formed. There are no photos of this night, no videos, no social media posts, just silence, faith, and the start of a lifelong journey between two people. Difference between Amish and modern weddings. Weddings around the world are celebrated in countless ways, but when you compare a typical modern wedding with an Amish wedding, the differences are striking. From preparation to celebration and even the first night, the contrasts show how culture and tradition shape the meaning of marriage itself. Understanding these differences gives a deeper insight into the Amish way of life, which values simplicity, privacy, and spirituality over extravagance and spectacle. Let's start with the most obvious difference, the honeymoon. In the modern world, couples often plan elaborate trips immediately after the wedding. They fly to exotic destinations, stay in luxury hotels, and spend days exploring or enjoying leisure activities. The honeymoon is considered a reward, a celebration of their love, and a way to escape the chaos of wedding planning. It's often portrayed as the pinnacle of romance and adventure for the newlyweds. In contrast, Amish couples do not take a honeymoon at all. There is no travel, no fancy accommodations, and no leisure activities. After the ceremony, the couple usually stays in a family home or their future home, depending on availability. The focus is on quiet rest, reflection, and settling into their new life. The idea is not to create memories of luxury or adventure, but to begin married life grounded in simplicity, faith, and routine. This stark difference shows how the Amish prioritize commitment and spiritual preparation over external pleasures. Next, consider surprises and gifts. Modern weddings often involve elaborate surprises for the couple, such as choreographed dances, hidden gifts, or entertainment during the reception. Guests bring expensive presents, and there is often a culture of showing off wealth, creativity, or social connections. These elements are seen as part of the excitement and fun of a modern wedding. For the Amish, surprises are minimal or non-existent. Gifts are usually practical, simple, and intended to help the couple start their household. There are no grand gestures, no extravagant presents, and no competitions for attention. The value is placed on utility, meaning, and necessity, not spectacle. Even the wedding ceremony and meal are designed to be functional and respectful rather than entertaining. The difference extends to party lifestyle and social interaction. Modern weddings are known for their large receptions, music, dancing, and social celebration. They can last late into the night with a focus on enjoyment, socialization, and creating a memorable experience for everyone. The wedding is as much for the couple as it is for the guests, and the event often reflects personal taste, status, or style. Amish weddings, on the other hand, are quiet, structured, and communal. The focus is on spiritual connection and family support, not celebration or entertainment. Guests arrive, participate respectfully, and share a simple meal. There is no loud music, no dancing, and no partying. Even the first night is calm and reflective. The intention is not to impress outsiders or create a spectacle, but to honor tradition and begin married life with respect, responsibility, and mindfulness. These differences highlight the deeper philosophies behind each culture. Modern weddings often emphasize romance, pleasure, and personal expression, while Amish weddings emphasize simplicity, faith, and lifelong commitment. Every action, from staying in a family home to avoiding surprises, reflects a conscious choice to focus on values rather than external appearances. By understanding these contrasts, it becomes clear that the meaning of marriage in Amish culture is less about entertainment or showmanship and more about preparing for a life of shared responsibility, emotional support, and spiritual growth. While modern weddings are often short-term spectacles, Amish weddings set the stage for a long-term journey based on humility, duty, and quiet love. In essence, the difference is not just about how weddings are celebrated, it is about how life itself is approached after the wedding day ends. For the Amish, marriage is sacred, private, and deeply meaningful in ways that the modern world rarely experiences. Emotional side? Imagine starting your married life with no phones, no cameras, no social media, and no outside distractions, just silence, respect, and love rooted in faith. For most people in the modern world, marriage is filled with instant sharing, pictures, posts, and constant social interaction. But for the Amish, these things are absent. Their life begins quietly, with every moment focused on the connection between husband and wife and the support of their community. On the wedding night, emotions run deep. There is happiness, of course, but also nervousness, reflection, and a profound sense of responsibility. The bride and groom are stepping into a life where every action matters, every word counts, and every decision affects not just themselves but their families and community. This is a life built on trust, obedience, and faith, rather than luxury, entertainment, or fleeting excitement. For viewers, it can be almost unimaginable. No phones to distract, no cameras to capture staged moments, no entertainment to fill the silence, only presence. The silence is not empty, it is meaningful. The quiet allows space for thought, prayer, and emotional connection. The couple listens to each other, understands each other, and slowly begins to share the most private parts of their lives, their hopes, their fears, and their commitment to a shared future. This emotional aspect of Amish life teaches a simple but powerful lesson. In a world obsessed with speed, noise, and attention, slowing down and focusing on what truly matters can bring a different kind of richness. Love is not measured by grand gestures or public display. It is measured by respect, shared responsibility, and the quiet moments that build the foundation for a lifetime. For the bride, this night marks a transformation. She is no longer just a daughter in her family home. She is a wife, entering a life of partnership, faith, and duty. The groom, too, steps into a role that demands respect, patience, and integrity. Together, they embrace a bond that is private, sacred, and enduring. By imagining this world, viewers can connect not just with Amish traditions, but with a universal truth. The most meaningful relationships often thrive in quiet, devoted attention and shared commitment. In a way, their emotional journey reminds us that love does not need noise, spectacle, or social validation. It needs understanding, respect, and faith. The truth is, Amish wedding nights are not about wild stories, rumors, or shocking secrets. There is no drama, no spectacle, and no modern fantasy. Instead, these nights mark the beginning of a life rooted in simplicity, responsibility, and spiritual connection. The couple starts their journey with quiet reflection, prayer, and emotional bonding, free from distractions or outside influence. Every moment is meaningful, focused on building trust, understanding, and lifelong partnership. In the Amish world, marriage is not about excitement or showmanship. It is about laying the foundation for a respectful, devoted, and faith-centered life together. If you enjoyed uncovering the real Amish wedding traditions, hit like, subscribe, and turn on the bell. Comment below which tradition surprised you the most, and share this video to show others a side of life few people ever see.